Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Lover by S.K. Allison. Narrated by Georgia Gray and Griswold Addams. Chapter 1. D. My firm's meeting ran long, but if the new assistant is as good as her references say, my 10 o'clock would have moved to 11:15 minutes ago. Boss is in a mood, huh? Dennis, my co-worker, asks me as we pack up our files on the conference room table. Isn't Larry always? I respond. As soon as my remark hits the air, the rest of the team nervously collect their things and leave. If Larry ever caught on that he was talked about after the conferences, there would be nothing quite like being ripped a new asshole before 8 in the morning. As for me, I like to think of myself as a grizzled veteran, unafraid of Larry's temper. But I keep my voice down because I'm not a complete masochist, unlike Dennis Hodge, who usually knows what buttons to push to get everyone to grind their molars. We're both equal in Larry's eyes as senior analysts, however, so I try to give Dennis the benefit of the doubt. Many doubts. Dennis continues. Larry didn't seem too upset with you, though. I pause, my laptop halfway into its sleeve. His question is innocent enough, with just the right amount of light-hearted flair so as not to ring any alarm bells. Yet, I study him for more clues. His wheat-blonde hair is slicked back, as always, away from his angular face and thin, pointed nose. His gray eyes are hidden with lowered lids as he focuses on packing up his portfolio. But his movements are jerky. His lips just a little too thinly pressed together to be relaxed. It's no secret I'm at the top of my game. I finish packing my leather messenger bag and swing it over my shoulder. Yeah, everyone knows you generate the highest returns, including our top client. Dennis laughs, but it doesn't lift his mouth. No wonder Larry sang your praises rather than fling the PowerPoint remote at you like he did poor old Melvin. You're a lucky chick, Dee. I try for an answering smile, but it's with my teeth. It took me weeks to navigate market volatility, months to get the client to trust me. Dennis throws up his hands. Not saying you didn't work hard. You must have to land a client of that caliber. Most of us have been working at it for years and couldn't bring in that kind of money. I incline my head. The conference room is empty, save for him and me, but the resulting quiet isn't uncomfortable. In fact, it seeps into my bones, bracing them. What are you getting at? Nothing. He shifts the rest of his ledgers into his briefcase. Good. I eye him for a few seconds longer, and then move to the door. Only that what's taken some of us a decade, you've managed to accomplish in 2 years. I come to a stop. The boss must really be into you, Dennis says to my back. He's into the number of zeros I put in my portfolio, usually beginning with double digits. I bite out, refusing to turn around and give him my expression. I'm not immune to Larry's temper. Don't you remember last month when I lost a few million? He stripped my hide and threatened the life of my non-existent firstborn child until I could replace the funds. I've paid my dues. Sure. Dennis clears his throat behind me. But I gotta wonder. I sigh. What, Dennis? There's little point in hearing his answer, but the lying in wait part of me, my riled-up center, wants to see how far he'll go, giving me the excuse to bite back. Working as a hedge fund senior analyst makes you develop a tough skin, especially when surrounded by power-hungry, unscrupulous men. Putting up with their insults, threats, and loaded flattery, always with some sort of sexual innuendo, and mostly directed at each other, is a job in itself. I'm dealing with top minds who think they're top dicks, and I figured out fast that in order to succeed in this business, I didn't just require the smarts, I also had to master the rhetoric. Dennis Hodge, while my equal, has yet to grasp just how fluent I am in asshole. Well, I'm only wondering. Did you win Pietro Matson and his company over with your talent with men? I whirl on my heel, facing him. Excuse me? Dennis widens his eyes and blinks like an innocent baby bird. Your talent, Dee. Your ability to woo clients and get them to trust you. It's something us guys just can't do as well as you, no matter how hard we try. Huh? But you look upset. What kind of skill did you think I was referring to? After a beat, I unclench my molars. The resulting ache spreads through my words. I don't have to explain my clients or my strategy to you. You may one day. What's that supposed to mean? Dennis shrugs, his bony shoulders lifting in a tailored suit. But no matter how much he gets his designer threads taken in, even the most experienced tailor couldn't flatter a body with limbs too long for a torso. You heard Larry talking about the portfolio manager opening before he lost his cool. Dennis says, I saw your eyes light up. Don't get any ideas. I'd like to remind you, in a super friendly and respectful way, of course, the position is mine. My shoulders tense. Let the most talented analyst win. I mean it, Dee. Don't make me say it. Say what? I check my watch, unconsciously tapping my foot along with the movement. I shouldn't have given Dennis a minute. Never mind 5. Look, this has been educational, but I have to... I know about you. My eyes flick up from my wrist. I know about you, he repeats. And I have no problem telling Larry, the guys, and all our most pious and conservative clients, including your latest account, what you used to do. My heart kicks against my ribs, but outwardly, I force a blank stare. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ah, Dee. Don't pretend to be stupid. Dennis chuckles, resting a hip on the table and crossing his arms. It's not a good look on you. A prospective client I was trying to bring in recognized you. Does Harvey Mickelson ring a bell? It does. Sort of. He was a one-time thing. A pharmaceutical owner who was a bit too BDSM for my taste. I ended it and Harvey wasn't happy. But I held firm and he never spoke to me again. Plus, I wore colored contact lenses with Harvey. A wig. I try to keep the surprise off my face. But I had no idea Harvey was so pissed off with me that he memorized my freaking bone structure and was willing to out me to a coworker. Dennis says, Did you never think your past would come back to bite you in that sweet round ass of yours? An ass, if I'm not mistaken, that's been exposed quite a few times as a lady of the night. Shut up, I spit out. Vitriol coats my voice before I can stop it. Well, Dennis cocks his head. I thought a woman like you wouldn't be so ashamed. Embarrassment is the least of what I'm feeling. This topic is none of your business. Have a good day, Dennis. I head to the door. I'm hoping mine won't include you in the rest of it. You don't want to do that. My hand pauses on the door's handle. The conference room is a fishbowl. Clear glass walls are all that separates me from the hive of activity in the cubicles. The movement of bodies rushing and heads bobbing as money is secured, traded, and watched as a dotted line. I'd been in one of those honeycomb hovels, and was only recently upgraded to my own office. If I look slightly to the right and count 10 doors forward, my name on a plaque would shine in the horizon. One phone call, Dennis says. That's all it'll take. I take a breath, then 2. My eyes never leave the subtle flash of a brass plate. You can't do this. I have every belief I can, since I doubt you listed whore on your resume when you applied here. Watch your mouth, I hiss over my shoulder. Dennis chuckles. Here's where you have it wrong. I'm the guy in control of this situation. All you gotta do is politely decline when Larry offers you the promotion to portfolio manager. You do that, I'll act like this conversation never happened. Until the next time he wants something I scraped and crawled and bled for. It's lazy bastards like him who think they deserve the world, simply by thinking they're bolder than others. I turn toward him one last time. I'm afraid that won't work for me. Oh, you have another equal salaried job lined up? Dennis raises a brow. I figured you were here to smack your forehead on a glass ceiling, not job serve. I bristle, but keep my tone level. You don't want to mess with me, Hodge. And why's that? Dennis checks his cuticles for no reason other than to feign boredom. Those manly nails are pristine because he forces his assistant to book him morning manicures at 7 a.m. once a week, yet tells the guys he's finishing off his mornings with a blowy from his latest nightclub conquest. Assistants talk. How do I know this? I used to be one of them. I watch one such assistant toddle on her heels while she balances 6 to-go cups of coffee in her arms and tries to listen to her manager prattle on beside her. My upper lip curls. I whirl around, my heels spearing the carpet as I stalk toward Dennis, and watch his smile slowly fall. I didn't strategize my way out of obscurity and work sleepless nights just to have a frat pledge reject think he can outsmart me with his make-believe big swinging dick. Since you know so much about me, you would have discovered one such account I brought into Larry's eager hands was Emerald Spin Records. When I stop a foot away from him, my 4-inch heels providing just enough height to look down, Dennis's eyes grow small. His chin trembles with a retort. It's my turn to angle my head. I can hear your wheels spinning, Dennis. So what? It doesn't matter who you brought in months ago, even if it was the fucking Queen of England. What matters is your future, and I'm about to piss all over it if you don't give me what I want. You want my hard work, I say quietly, my mouth barely curving on the words. I'd worked half a year convincing the record company to try the cutting-edge opportunity of putting their artists' intellectual property into an investment portfolio. I say, I don't give that up so easily. Coming from nothing, I hold on to everything, including Emerald Spin. Think it through, Dennis. Figure out why I'm throwing them in your face the moment you're trying to screw me over. Sweetie, even if you take them with you when you're fired, they're Nocturne Court's label. I will take them with me if I lose this job. They're the largest music label in the United States. If they go, you'd be the one dealing with Larry's volcanic ire, since I'll make sure to tell him you orchestrated the move. My make-believe dick shrivels as we speak, he says. Just because you have some has-been band connection Emerald Spin represented. What did you call them? I can't even remember. They're so done. Oh yeah, Nocturne Court. That doesn't mean you have the power to influence an entire label. That ain't clout, girlie. My mind whirs. I refuse to back down, even though Dennis is right. Nocturne Court disbanded 2 years ago, and although the label is desperate to get them to reunite, none of the boys seem too eager to get back into the fray. None save for one. Buying time, I respond. Don't try me. Dennis laughs. He straightens from the table, his sudden proximity forcing me back a step. He senses the cracks in my hardened exterior because he smiles. I don't have to try anything. You're finished. D. Sparrow. Give me the goods or tweet the fuck out of here. You really want to test my power over the record label and every other client in my books? Well, you would know about the proper handling of clientele, wouldn't you? Tell me, do all of them require a scrotum massage, or is it only the old sweaty balls who like it? I ignore his too easy jibe, because he's right. If our more conservative clients find out about my past, I'll be finished. And losing everything I've worked for sends my stomach plummeting. I'll take the label with me, Dennis. They only want me. Please, he scoffs. Companies care about money, not sluts. I bristle. Despite being used to the word, I'm not used to it being uttered by a so-called equal. He goes on. Unless you're shacking up with one of their precious artists, you've got nothing. A light goes off in my head, but I school my face before Dennis can notice it. Actually, I clear my throat and keep my eyes from darting away from his. I am. Dennis's brows scrunch and a snort escapes. Are you for real? All this talk about working hard and using your brains and not your pussy, and you brought in that account with your tits and ass? I fist a discreet hand over my stomach to quell the slosh of bile in my gut. I didn't come this far to continue to use sex as a power play, but I'm also not stupid enough to believe sex doesn't continue to be the most influential currency there is, even at the top. Not exactly. Do continue. I can't wait to hear how Miss Horier-than-thou will attempt to disguise her success as anything but sleeping her way to the top. Fuck. Keep giving me ammo, girl. I live for this. I'm engaged to one of them. I blurted out so fast, my mind doesn't have time to process the repercussions. All I want is to see shock ripple across Dennis's Poindexter face while all the power he thinks he has leaches from his hands and flows back to me. Come on, Dennis barks with laughter. This last-ditch attempt of yours is pathetic. They're all taken. Pussy whipped and chained. There's nothing tying you to Emerald Spin that I also don't have. Not all of them. My hands are shaking, so I clench them at my sides, hiding them as much as I can behind my blazer and tote. Win Riley. Who? Dennis screws up one side of his face so theatrically, he has to be faking. Wait, that guy on the keyboard? I give a curt nod. Emerald Spin is expending every effort they have to get Nocturne Court back together. One word from me, and Wynne will go to them with new demands, like asking them to move their intellectual property somewhere else. They wouldn't. But Dennis's stare slips to the side. Not on the word of some loser electric piano player. Want to try? Dennis levels his shoulders, ready to spar. I take advantage. Nocturne Court brought Emerald Spin from obscurity to one of the most influential music labels of our time. They don't play around when it comes to their firstborn. And as my fiancé, the word sticks in my throat, Wynne will have no problems coming to them with issues on how his fiancé's being treated at the brand new firm handling their money. You cunt. This time, my bristle has teeth. How original. I think you've hit all the ways to demean my sex at this point. Except for bitch. And that one I'll take. Dennis lowers his head, regarding me with a level of disgust likely reserved only for women who talk back to him. Even if Dennis has lied, cheated, and bloated numbers to receive praise for every account he doesn't deserve, he refuses to see the truth. All he understands is the unfairness of it all. The unfairness of me. Go ahead. Test me. I raise my chin, straighten the strap of my bag, and for the final time head to the door. As long as you do it with the full knowledge I have the very thing you will forever lack. Tits and ass. I hip-check the door open. And as my history reflects, I use them very well. Dennis growls obscenities, but not loud enough for them to echo throughout the floor as the door sways shut behind me. The thought of using my sexuality as a way to stay above coworkers sits along my skin like the fur on spider legs. I haven't used my body as a weapon in all the years I've worked here. That uneasiness is the very reason I've kept my past so deep in the trenches of my mind. Not because I'm ashamed, but because if the barest tickle of it hit any of my fellow employees' ears, all I've worked for would be rendered null. Void. Undeserved. Not only am I a female elbowing my way into a boys' club, I'm a girl with the type of sexual past that would make them strip me with their eyes every time I walk into a room, or mutter their hotel preferences within earshot, hoping to see me there. My brains, my work ethic, would become second to the body they think is theirs now. I can't believe I used it against Dennis. The sickness won't go away, but I maintain a cool calm as I stalk through the crowded floor and into the hallway. It's how they all know me. Cold, calculated, efficient, D. And it's a mask I'll never be weak enough to let slip. Interns trip out of my way. Assistants fly out of my airspace. And fellow managers tip their chins or salute papers at me in shallow greeting as they pass. When I make it to the restroom, I barrel inside, lock the door behind me, and vomit up the few bites of croissant and all the coffee I've had for breakfast.
Chapter 2. When. Plush, buttery leather rubs against my cheek like a soft woman's bosom. Light trickles in from the floor to ceiling windows as the blackout shades automatically roll up at their designated time, and a sweet, robotic voice murmurs, "Good morning, Win. Today's weather will be 71 degrees. A telltale gurgle follows, the coffee machine coming to life on its automatic timer, and the cashmere blanket tightens against my chest as I barrel roll and stretch my arms and legs wide. This is the good life, I grunt after a particularly satisfying pop in my back, until something plastic whacks me in the forehead. What the fuck? Yo, rent-free roommate, get your ass up. Cabinets rattle on their hinges as Mason charges through the open kitchen, slamming mugs on the counter and sifting through metal pots and pans. Tossing the empty water bottle aside, I grumble, "Dude, is that necessary?" Mason's head juts up above the granite. "Hell yeah, it is. Pay your dues and help me make scrambled eggs for the missus." Newest craving? I rise from the couch on a sigh and finish off cracking my back by twisting side to side. Mason hands me a grater and a block of cheese in answer as I approach. "Make a fucking mountain of orange shreds. She likes them fresh, not packaged." Got it. I start grating, paying close attention to the blades near my thumb. I'm not fully awake yet, and working the kitchen with one functional eyeball is hazardous. Mason turns to the fridge, pulling out eggs and milk, and then hunches over the coffee machine as he watches it drip, drip, drip our lifeblood into a carafe. "Still ain't sleeping either, huh?" I say. It's like slumbering beside a pregnant Attila the Hun every night. Mason glances toward the doorway as if expecting his wife's approach. Don't tell her I said that. You and I both know we'll hear her coming. I mutter through the side of my mouth, also terrified over getting on McKenna's bad side despite my assurances. The coffee machine's light goes off, and Mason almost buckles in relief. He automatically reaches for 3 mugs, pouring an equal amount in each. How'd you sleep? Mace offers me a mug. I shrug and bring it to my mouth. The first sip of caffeine does way more for me than admitting sleeping on his and his wife's couch and not my own bed is comfortable. Hey! Mason draws my attention. The expression on his face alerts me that I'm doing a shit job at disguising the truth. I'm sorry we kicked you to the couch. Mac's in that nesting stage, I guess, and she's determined to have the nursery primed and painted by month 7. I wave it off. Buddy, it's your apartment. You're doing me a solid letting me stay here while I... Mason tips his head, waiting for me to finish my thought. I don't. After a deep exhale, he sets down his mug. Look, we don't do this thing. This, you know, Mason motions to the space between us. Heart-to-heart shit, but I have to admit, I'm a little worried about you. So I'm a tad down and out. It's not a big deal. We have continued royalties from Nocturne Court. I just have to wait until those come in, then I'll be good again. It's not that. I don't want to be a burden, bro. Say the word, and I'll be out of your space. You've said that a few times now, Win. I'll be good in a few months, I swear. I mean, sure, but you seem to lose the money as soon as you get it. My back goes up, but I release the grater and rake a hand through my hair in an effort to maintain calm. Those royalties only take us so far, Mason continues. And it's kind of stopped taking you anywhere. You've lost your lease, sold your furniture. Not everybody gets a blockbuster solo career after their band breaks up. Mason's expression goes slack. Dude. Damn. So much for calm and collected. It's no secret Nocturne Court broke up because the boys wanted to focus on their families. And I'm an ass for throwing it in his face. I blame it on the water bottle to the forehead as his morning greeting. I appreciate everything you and McKenna have done for me. Really, I do. But maybe you're right. 2 months is too much. I should look for someplace else. Ah, come on. Don't put words into my mouth. I'm not jealous. I fist bump my chest to enunciate the point. It's great you and Rex released epic singles, and East is happy as a fucking clam bake being a dad and music teacher. I'll find success too. It's just taking me longer. I know all that. I'm not trying to push you out on your ass. This is me trying to show some concern. But I'm pretty shitty at it, so this is where we're at. Mason crosses his arms and glares at the ingredients. Now, how the fuck do I make a scramble? Get out of the way. I round to the granite counter and elbow him aside, heating up a pan on the stove and getting to work cracking the eggs. See? You're good for something around here. Fuck off. Mason grins, clasps my shoulder, and shoves me until my groin smacks into the stove dials. Brotherly love at its finest. I hate to admit it, but you have a point. I glance sideways at him. The baby's coming soon, and I doubt McKenna's aiming to take care of 3 of us. Mason's shove turns into a punch to my bicep. Funny guy. I just...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?